They put this as breaking news. The Supreme Court has said, as far as the grievance concerned in this case is there, let's break it down and give the breaking news first, that the petition has been disposed of. So breaking news, please put it on the ticker as well. Plea has been disposed of. So the
viewers,
plea has been, yes, that's the big breaking news coming in.
Yes, viewers, getting in a big breaking. The plea, which was filed by 3 others and Matthews Nedumpara, has now been disposed of by the Supreme Court. In fact, this is the same plea that seeks an FIR against Justice Varma over the cash discovery at his official residence in the national capital, the biggest judicial scandal in India. And now, in the latest that has come in, that plea has been disposed of by the Supreme Court. Our editor for legal continues to join us on the broadcast on the matter that the plea which was filed seeking an FIR against Justice Varma over cash discovery scandal has been disposed of by the Supreme Court. This plea was filed in unison by Matthews Nedumpara and 3 others, which has now been disposed of. Just moments ago, the hearing on the PIL began, and now the plea has been disposed of. Our executive editor for legal, Rhythm Bhardwaj, continues to join us, who can get us the repercussions on what this means. Rhythm, I remember you said that not much is going to come out of the PIL in your view, and now the plea has been disposed of by the Supreme Court. Your first reaction on that?
Absolutely. Well, the way Justice Oka had started speaking, it was but obvious that this is exactly what was going to happen. We didn't want to preempt it, but the way the judges speak, I think in the first few words when a judge starts talking in the Supreme Court, for some of us, we can immediately make out the mind of the judge and what they're going to say, especially in this matter in which there has been heavy criticism of how the Supreme Court has conducted itself. It was very clear that the Supreme Court would not entertain this plea that is seeking for an FIR against Justice Yashwant Varma. And at this stage, the Supreme Court would not find it relevant to interfere. That is exactly what the Supreme Court has said. They have said, as far as the grievance against Justice Varma is concerned, it's clear from the Supreme Court's website that the in-house procedure is adopted, the inquiry is in progress. They've also said, after the report is submitted by the committee, there will be several options open before the Chief Justice of India. So, like I said, what the court is really going to do right now is only going to be looking at what the in-house committee comes out with, and once the in-house committee comes out with details, only then will they go forward, and then they will be looking into what things can be done.
Right, Rhythm. In fact, viewers, just to get you a quick roundup, a very rapid development in the case. The hearing on the PIL had just begun, and in moments, the Supreme Court has disposed of the plea which was filed by Matthews Nedumpara and 3 other people seeking an FIR against Justice Yashwant Varma in the judicial scandal. Krutharth, my colleague, also joins us live from the newsroom to get us the nitty-gritties of the plea being disposed of. Krutharth, take it forward.
Indeed, and Matthew J. Nedumpara, who was the advocate who went to the Supreme Court of India with this petition, had clearly stated that he is against the in-house procedure, and he had asked the Supreme Court to prevail on its wisdom and find that an FIR in this case is extremely important. The preliminary contention of Matthew J. Nedumpara, who had an exclusive conversation with the Republic, told us that it is not the job of the courts to go and investigate a case, but it is the purview of the police. The job of the judges is to adjudicate, was his preliminary argument, and he wanted that the police or the agencies are the rightful authorities who can actually conduct a probe in this matter, because they have the requisite authority as per the constitution and also the expertise. So he wanted that the in-house panel should be done away with, and instead the police should get into the investigative aspect of it, and later on the courts can decide on the basis of the investigation of the police. However, the Supreme Court has now decided that at this stage it is too early for the Supreme Court to come and intervene, and in fact they have passed the buck to the Chief Justice of India by saying that it is the job of the Chief Justice of India to decide whether or not there will be an FIR in this case based on the in-house inquiry report. I want to go across to our executive editor on legal affairs, Rhythm, to further explain the nitty-gritties of this case in this regard, on why the Supreme Court is adamant on following the in-house procedure as established by the law. Yeah, coming back to the updates, I think we are going to connect with them in just a moment. But again, the preliminary contention being whether the judges are the rightful authority in this case to investigate the specifics of the matter in whether or not the cash was found, where was it burned, where did it go, and was the procedure correctly followed. I have Gopi joining us live from outside the Supreme Court of India, bringing us more updates on this entire story. Gopi, tell us what's the mood outside right now, the Supreme Court of India, now that the petition seeking an FIR against Justice Varma has been disposed of at this juncture.
Well, look, Krutarth, as you've correctly mentioned that the in-house inquiry is ongoing, and to this Justice Oka in fact has reiterated this fact that there's no point in listening or hearing this particular petition which has been filed